you're going to travel tomorrow. It's like you're investing. That you know that in 3 years' time, my future is something else. That is Nclex for you. It's a gradual process, a step-by-step process, which will finally result to grace.
Good morning, Miss Yvette.
Good afternoon, this way.
Happy to have you today.
Thank you.
Can you please introduce yourself to us and what you do?
Okay, thanks you, Kodia, for inviting me to your platform to come and talk about Nclex. Yvette Kenyuy, I'm a nurse educator. I've been teaching in nursing school for at least 6 to 7 years today now. And I am also an Nclex tutor. I am the founder of the Cameroon Nclex Academy that has been for 2 years now. And so far, we've graduated almost 17 students that have passed the Nclex.
So amazing. 17 students. That's not small. That's great. The way I came across your page was so random. I was just on Facebook, doing my little research to find out which nursing groups are out there. And I stumbled on your page and I was like, wow, so there's an Nclex Academy in Cameroon. So I was so happy to find out. Then I said, you know what, I need to reach out to this person and find out why they started it. What was your motivation? So I want to ask you that question right now. What was your motivation in starting the Nclex Academy in Cameroon?
Okay, thank you very much. So what motivated me to start doing Nclex in Cameroon is the way I saw other countries were so interested about the Nclex. So I have never heard of Nclex until one day I saw it in my students' forum. I have been a teacher for almost 6 years and I've been using Nclex materials, but the name Nclex never meant anything to me until I saw seminar on Nclex that was hosted by an agency who came to recruit nurses in Cameroon. And I said, I should know more about it. And I started doing my research. And then I finally attended a seminar and I said, wow, this is nice. So when I decided to embark on the journey, I realized I was alone. I realized there were very few people to help me. People, you ask questions, people don't understand. You ask questions, people cannot answer you. And I'm like, this thing, I need to let Cameroonians know about it. So I moved forward. I go into Nigerians, go into Kenyans, go into Ghanaians, ask them questions, get questions. I come back, open a group, start sensitizing people, start helping people with the registration process. And that is how I finally now open now the academy where I start teaching people on how to go and write. So before I even went and finally wrote, I had already been teaching about this because I'm a teacher already, so it was easy for me to adapt with the Nclex curriculum. So that is what motivated me. The fact that I saw other countries traveling, other countries into it, and in Cameroon, it was something that nurses don't know about. I decided to sensitize the population. Tell Cameroonian nurses that you can go to the US as a nurse. You don't need to go back and start school all over. You don't need to go through illegal means. There is a simple and easiest and cheapest way to get you to the US.
Just pause for some time there. So Madame Yvette is the founder of Cameroon Nclex Academy. I'm going to be leaving a link to her page so that if you need more information or if you have any questions, you can definitely reach out to her. She's just here today to give us information on the Nclex, how to go about it, how she tutors, and the services they provide in Cameroon. Glad to have you back. Can you hear me?
Yes, I get you. Sorry, the network went off.
Sorry about. We were talking about, so you found out about the Nclex and you were astonished that why don't people know about this? And so you learned for yourself and you wanted to bring the information to other people out there. And you mentioned that you're a teacher yourself. So what do you teach and for how long have you been teaching?
Well, I've been teaching for almost six years now. I started teaching in 2017, 2019, 2020.
Wow, that's a long time. I was going to say, I think you lost me because I've been here. Yeah, that's fine. We're in 2 different time zones, like I said, 2 different parts of the world. It happens. We just have to exercise our patience. You mentioned that you've been teaching and you're explaining that you've been teaching for about 6 years now.
Yes, I started teaching 2017, 2018. Till date, I'm still in the classroom. Nurses. I teach nurses only.
Yeah, nursing is something that is definitely it's second nature to you, I must say, because you've been there for some time.
Yeah.
All right, okay. So yeah, you mentioned that you've tutored about 17 students so far to pass the NCLEX. That's impressive. I think that's amazing. I went over your page just to look at what you guys have been up to, and I see that recently you were doing a tour. You've been to Kumba. So please, can you tell us more about that?
Okay, so since I started this Nclex Academy, one of the thing I really wanted to do is to spread it all over the country, and a lot of nurses have been reaching out to me. You know, with our people, they want to see you, they want to talk to you face to face before they believe that there's something that is going on like that. So we decided to do whole seminars on different towns. We've done a seminar here in Douala, so I'm principally based in Douala. We did a seminar Douala, we did a seminar in Tico, and by the second week of February, that's on the 8th of February, we'll be doing another seminar in Boya, precisely at Reims University Institute. We'll be doing a seminar there just about the NCLEX. The Limbe people are also waiting for me, and then I'll go to Kumba after that. Then I sit now to meet people from Bamenda to explain this process, just to explain to them, just to let them know that NCLEX exists and the pathway of NCLEX is real. Even though people don't believe, but I think when they start
Ask
seeing
you that. Do
it,
you feel like before establishing your academy, a lot of people were skeptical or they just didn't know about the NCLEX? What do you think was the information about the NCLEX at the time that was being spread around?
it's people don't know about it. People don't know about it. Many people, especially in Cameroon, believe that for you to travel, you need a document where you just gather a bundle, a sum of money, give it
Right.
to them, and they will start doing your documents, and then they will call you and say that your visa. No, many Cameroonians they travel even without even going to the embassy. The document they just do everything and bring the passport with the visa and give them. So they still believe in that kind of way of traveling, or they still believe in the kind of way that the document will do everything and then call you to come and go for the
Right.
visa. They don't believe
Meanwhile,
that
times
you
have
can.
changed. You can actually do research, and there's so many legitimate ways. There's so many things that you can start on your own to save you a lot of costs because by
Yeah.
involving a third party, sometimes to do everything, then it will incur more cost on you.
So that's what they still believe that. So when you tell them no, you can register to a board. You can, after the registering, you go to this area. They will see that process as if it's confusing, it's very lengthy. How far are you sure they are not going to steal your money? They'll believe to take your money and give you that they can see physically than to pay to a website or a board online or register something online. So it makes it difficult. People just like no. And at times when you hear them, you tell them you need to spend this kind of amount, you need to travel out to go and write the exam. It's like no, 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 no. That's too much. You know, we don't too much like us book and all that. That makes it difficult. It makes the NCLEX process here difficult. But I just believe if Cameroonians who have traveled out through this NCLEX come out and say that I've used this pathway and this pathway is so is legit, a lot of people will engage into it. A lot of people, but
Right.
you know, in our culture, bush falling is something that you hide. You don't make it known to people.
Yeah, we
People
were
if
talking
they don't
about it yesterday. Yeah, I don't know why.
they don't make it known to people. So even somebody is going for the place, he doesn't say. Even somebody after passing, you keep your mouth shut. You're afraid to share the joy, to be happy. Until the day, even when you arrive the US, you still hide yourself. If Cameroonians can come out and say, I did the NCLEX process, I am encouraging you to take the NCLEX. If you go on YouTube, you will not slap a Nigerian who is testifying, who is blogging her stories. How many Cameroonians go out there to blog their stories? How many? How many Cameroonians will tell you that this pathway takes you here, this pathway? So far, I know about just two on YouTube. This there's one girl who left from Dubai to the USA, and also there's one man, it's John, who also left from Dubai to the USA through an agency. Those are the people, but they are people who have succeeded in traveling. They are people who are on the line to
Oh yeah,
travel,
I
but
know
they
of.
keep, they
Yeah.
keep it. It's not easy. They just hide it and all that. So I said no.
Well.
let me be the sacrificial lamb. Let me take it upon myself.
That's what I'm
To,
saying. I'm so thankful for you because
yeah,
you not only did you find out the information, you've already helped several people, and that's an amazing thing. And that's why we're happy to have you here today, so that some people can learn and get the information.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that's NCLEX is real. The NCLEX process is real. And it is a gradual process. It's not a process that you're going to travel today, you're going to travel tomorrow. It's like you're investing. That you know that in 3 years' time, my future is something else. That is NCLEX for you. It's a gradual process, a step-by-step process, which will finally result to praise. It's more than your visitor visa, more than your tourist visas that you go and take, nothing. Invest in NCLEX and you will see the benefits in the future. And I also think if our Cameroonians out there can see to it that they support their sisters home to encourage them to this part. The Cameroonian nurses, they don't, some of them, they don't even know that from Cameroon you can write NCLEX, you can register for NCLEX. I had about 4 people online who said, are you sure from Cameroon they can register NCLEX? I said, yes, from Cameroon you can register NCLEX, you just need to go out of Cameroon to write the NCLEX. And
right.
okay, and they are still, even the people who are in the US are still skeptical about it. So what do you think? So we just need to
So,
keep on
what are the
sensitizing people.
different countries around that offer to write the NCLEX? I know South Africa for one. I learned about Kenya recently.
Okay, so yes, obviously, we had South Africa, which was the only country in Africa, but recently that was June. The Kenya Center was inaugurated, and many of us have been traveling to Kenya. And the thing which is nice is that Kenya is not even expensive. With 390,000 francs, with 400, 500, you can go to Kenya and be back. Okay, and write your exam. You don't need to stay there for many days. You can go there today, tomorrow you write, the evening you take off and you're back. Unless maybe you just want to spend some time, move around, then you can pay your hotel for 3 or 4 days. But Kenya is cheap. So there is no worry again about traveling. Traveling. That is it.
Right. Invest in
And
your future if you want to. Today we're talking about the E1 visa, the HB3. Am I pronouncing it right? So can you expatiate on this visa? This
so
visa choices.
let me take the process and then I reach that one. So let me just take the process on how you register. So, like say, if you decide to work in the US, you decide that you are a Cameroonian nurse and you would like to work in the US. Majority of us do nursing because we plan to travel one day. So the process is not difficult. Look for a credential evaluation board. Send your documents there for credential evaluation. After that, the credential evaluation is like a board that compares your certificate to that of the US standard. They give you an equivalent. Now, I'm so happy to let you know that your HND, your SRM is considered as an associate degree in the USA.
Yes.
Your BSc is considered like a degree, a BNS in the US. So you don't need to go and start school again. Now, when this equivalent is given to you, you can now take it and then look for a board which is internationally friendly. That does not require social security number. You register to the board and the board will ask you for fingerprinting. You send your fingerprints and they will tell you to go and pay for the exam. You go now to another website, the person view website, you pay for your exam. After you pay for your exam, your board now will send you your authorization to test. Once you get your authorization to test, you just need to go back there and schedule your exam. After you schedule your exam, you study. Before you even start this process, you start studying. The first thing about the NCLEX process is studying. It's not even the money. I see people cry, the money. People have even spent 5 million, go and come, they did not still pass the exam. People have done things just to pass this exam they have not. So the problem is not even the money. The problem is the exam. So while you are registering, you are studying. Okay, you study while you register. As you finish, they give you schedule down for your exam. After that, you go and write your exam. Once you pass, all for you. You don't need much. You just need to look for a job. One of the things that is good in this process is that it is so lucrative. There are recruiters everywhere. It's one of the process that you will not take up to 1 week to get a job. You will not spend up to a week unless maybe your CV is having a problem. If you make your CV according to the American standard, I give you 1 week to get a recruiter or an employer. Now, once you get your employer take over from there. Now, there are many routes to go to the US. There are many visa pathways to go to the US. So you can decide to go through the EB3 route. You can decide to go through the H1B route. You can decide to go through the F01 route. Now, all these three routes have their advantage and their disadvantage. The best out of them is the EB3. The EB3 gives you a permanent resident, gives you a green card, gives your spouse a work permit, and take you and your children to the US with your spouse. For now, the EB3 is facing a challenge. It has a challenge. We call that retrogression. All right, because the EB3 is a skill visa that involves all skilled workers. So for now, America is having a pile of 5 on their table for people who want to come to America to work. So those who applied since 2022 are the ones now that they are being treating their documents. So if you apply 2022, now you are preparing to leave. But if you're applying now, it means that you need to wait for them to finish with 2022, 2023, 2024 before now reach you. And it can change. The American can still decide that we need workers and this thing is taking too long and they're fasting the process. Okay, it's taking too long because they have a number of visa they need to give a year. And if the applicants surpass the number, they cannot surpass it. They just need to push it to the next year. Now they can decide that, okay, we want to bring in more people and they decide to take extra. So at any point in time, it can change. Okay, if you don't want to take that route, you can take the H1B. On the H1B, there are 2 types. There's the cap exempt and there's H1B. The cap exempt, that one does not need you to go through lottery. The normal H1B, they do lottery and you must have a BSc before you can go for the H1B. It also has its rules and regulations that the employer needs to fulfill before he can bring in a worker under the H1B. And when you're going under the H1B, you're just getting the work permit. So the green card, permanent resident is not attached to it. You can go with your family, but your husband will not have a work permit, but your children can go to school. So while you are there, you cannot apply for your EB3. Now, the H1B will take you for at least a period of 3 years, renewable one. So within these 6 years, your EB3 will be out and you'll be fine. Highest 3 years, your EB3 will be out and you'll be fine. Your spouse can have a work permit and all that. All right. So if not, you can still choose a student route. Like there are many agencies, there are many recruiters that don't want you to stay in your country. So what they do is that they look for a school, pay your fees, and then they apply for you as you're coming as a student. And that one is the fastest. Within 2 months, you can be in America. Once you come up, then you work with them and you go to
quite
school.
short.
So those are the different ways. So there are many. Apart from that, you can do your NCLEX. Why try your American lottery? You can get your NCLEX and you get your American lottery and you're gone. All right. And there are those that are also going to school. There are those that their parents have already filed for them. Now, why not start this process here?
Right.
You know, when you're
going to be saving costs because school is cheaper back home.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to get your degree with no loans, no use of credit cards, all of that. You're not going to be in debt. So if you're able to get your degree there and you already have a means of coming here, that facilitates things for you. Because once you get here, guess what? All you have to do is transfer that license with no debt. So you start working as a nurse and you're earning that money with no debt. Okay. So that's definitely something to consider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. The NCLEX road is good. We are advising all nurses to try it. If you have a plan, and they say that in life, always dream. I always tell my students, dream big. Dream big. You have that money, put it in the NCLEX and sit and fold your arm. And see how Australia, Canada, New Zealand, US will miss you. It will never. You're a hot cake when you have NCLEX. People can testify. I myself, I can testify. That's if you see my inbox. I decided I try this NCLEX. I want to try it. I decided to take, after I had my NCLEX, I decided to apply to more than 15 recruiters. Out of those 15 recruiters, only about 3 rejected my application. And the only reason they rejected my application because of Cameroon, there's a little bit of confusion in Cameroon between the Ministry of Higher Education and the Ministry of Public Health. I don't want to go into that now. So they said, no, they are not recruiting from Cameroon. They are not recruiting from Cameroon. That is the only reason. You get to choose how much salary you want to, how much hours you want to pay your salary, your payment rate. Once you already have your NCLEX, agency will come and say, oh, we'll pay you $35 per hour. This one will come and say, we'll pay you $40 per hour. This one will say, we'll give you a sign-up bonus of $10,000 as you arrive in the US. Another will say, we'll give you a sign-up bonus of $15,000. Some will say $6,000. We'll engage you in 2 years. Some will say, we'll engage you for 3 years. You just get you confused.
Wow.
You just get confused.
Don't sleep on
And
this.
yeah, and that's why I love about this self-sponsorship, because it gives you the ability to choose where you want to work, who you want to work with. Now, if you don't have the means to do it on your own, you can look for sponsorship. I tell people, join my group. I have a WhatsApp group.
Yeah, I was going to say, if someone called Madame Yvette and they say, Madame Yvette, oh my God, I heard what you said. You said so many good things. I want to pursue this path. Where does Madame Yvette come in? What are your services, please?
Okay, so I have a WhatsApp group where from time to time we post NCLEX questions there. I have a Telegram group where I offer free classes and I offer paid classes. Now, in this process, I first of all start once you're in my WhatsApp group, I have links that sponsor. We have recruiters that can sponsor this journey for you from scratch, zero, without you paying a dime until you go and write. But before they do that, they will pass you through a test. Because somebody cannot come and spend his money on you and then you go and fail. Right. So they will pass you through a series of test, NCLEX test questions for you to answer. If you answer and you made it, they sign a contract with you and they pay your credential evaluation, everything to your flight ticket. Some will pay half, you pay half. Now, for Cameroon, it's difficult to have this opportunity, but for Nigerians and Ghanaians, they have it every day. That's why you see they are too much into it. Now, but
it seems like some recruiters actually go to these countries. If I'm not mistaken, it seems like they actually go there and they recruit nurses right on ground.
Nigerians have made their name. Ghanaians have made their name. They go right to Nigeria and recruit from there. We have this Regina Rema. Rema is in Kenya and has opened a consult there, and is recruiting directly from there. They train you everything until sponsor your everything. So if you have the OPMS license, I can give you a series of links. I can give you the US format of making your CV and you apply. And when you apply, they'll pass your interview. We also help you. We give you directive on how to answer the interview, and then you get the sponsorship. I have done it for many nurses in my group. And today they are being sponsored without them paying a dime. Okay, now if you do not have this OPMS license, you are an HIV nurse, you do not pass the aptitude test. The only way you can go through this process is by sponsoring yourself. And now we come in, we register you. We know how to register you. We know the credential evaluation bot that can evaluate you. We know the nursing bot that can accept you until you have your ATT. Okay, but once you have your ATT, you go and write. Once you pass, you will still be writing your aptitude test, because you will need what they call a visa screen. And in this visa screen, they will need to verify your nursing license. But there are some exceptions, which I cannot say. I have had people have their visa screen without verification of their nursing background. So you don't need to worry about the process. If you are sure you want to travel to the US and you are a nurse and you have HND, BSc, SRN, just start. Just start.
And one thing I like about you, I mean, this is not a sponsored video, but the price you're offering is like a giveaway for someone who wants to travel. I mean, for how in-depth you help the person through the process from beginning until the time they write their NCLEX, and after that, trust me, her price is a giveaway. So if you're considering this process, I would definitely recommend the NCLEX Academy Cameroon. It's just amazing. Thank you so much for joining this live. I really appreciate you coming. Is there anything you want to add? Any information before we end this live?
Okay, thank you. So I don't really have a lot to say because people are still waiting for me to show them pictures of people who have traveled. For Cameroon now, I cannot show you because they are hiding. They are not there. They don't want to come out. Maybe after this live, people will come out and testify. But if you ask me for different countries, I'll show you different country people who started from scratch from their home country and they are today in the US working. NCLEX is not the NCLEX travel pathway route is not a myth. It's not a scam. It's real. It's not for people who are in a haste. is for people who have patience, and it's for people who don't have money, because it's the cheapest way to do this process. In general, can take you 2.5 to 3 million. Which pathway in the US will take you that amount? And spending this amount, the person who is recruiting you is paying you back all the amount. Is giving you back. Some people, some recruiters will give part, but some will give all your Nclex expenses. After, before you go, they will pay your flight from Cameroon
They
to
need
the
of
US.
nurses. Yeah, they will do it for you.
They do it. So I just want to encourage.
And you actually help people study for the Nclex. Like she's not just concerned about you registering, but she can also offer tutoring sessions, right? How long are your tutoring sessions for the Nclex?
So I always take my students for 6 months. 6 months before I can.
And someone who doesn't rush through the process is someone that. One thing I like about you, Madame Yvette, you're so passionate. Like I talked to you over the phone for a few minutes, but I could tell that this is something that you really, you enjoy doing. And I like it when someone enjoys what they're doing, because it's not about the pay. It's about you get your fulfillment, your happiness in seeing others achieve the results that they came in for. And I really like the fact that you're doing this because you're the right person for this. I mean, it's not rushing you through the process. It's 6 months, and to study for the Nclex is not a one-day thing, okay? It's especially studying for the Nclex in the United States. It's a little bit different, not entirely different from what you learn in school, but some of the diseases, their approaches are a little different because we are not dealing with the same emergencies all the time. So it's quite amazing that you spend that much time educating nurses.
All right, thank you.
So thank you very much. See you next time. We still want to see your face again, and hopefully next time we'll have many more testimonies to share, and many in fact we have actual students that will be able to share their stories as well. Thanks for joining.
Thank you everyone. If you have any question, you reach to her, she will reach to me, or she will give you my link.
I tagged her page in the comment section, so you can go there. She has a WhatsApp that's available, WhatsApp number. You can reach that WhatsApp number if you have any questions, and I'm sure she'll be available to answer you as well.